going into next week. But of course, right now it's pretty chilly out there. 31 in Chattanooga, 23 up the road in Nashville, and locally it's 28 in Cleveland. So a lot of the valley now in the low to mid 20s, 25 in Murphy, 26 in Blue Ridge, and 20 in Altamont. When you add in that wind, the wind chill values in the low 20s across much of the Tennessee Valley from Murphy to Blue Ridge into Chattanooga. So if you're heading out on this Saturday morning, you certainly want to have that jacket on hand. Now the good news for you, this weekend is going to be very pleasant, dry. We had the rain late last week, and now things are looking good. High pressure building in, going to be a nice dry weekend. And look at this colorful sunset. This was sent in by Les Hall in Mont Eagle. I mean, those colors are just gorgeous. Thank you so much for this photo. We'll continue to display some of these fantastic viewer photos throughout the rest of the show. And here's a look at your weekend forecast. A little bit cool today, but pretty typical of February. And then going into your Sunday, 62, so even warmer. We're really going to get that warming trend going next week. We'll talk more about that in just a second. But here's a look at your future cast. Again, next week going to be relatively active for us here across the Tennessee Valley, but this weekend we stay dry. Clouds build in tonight, and then we'll have a mix of sun and clouds for your Sunday as temperatures rise back into the 60s. So if you have any chores you need to get done outdoors this weekend, things are looking good. And then Monday, we're going to start tracking this stationary front. Now it looks like it's going to stall out to our north right along that Kentucky-Tennessee border. That's going to pump in some moisture to places like Lexington, Knoxville, and maybe even portions of the Tennessee Valley. So going into next week, it's going to be relatively active, but it's not necessarily going to be a washout. We'll have some waves of rain kind of coming in throughout the day on Tuesday, but the heaviest rain likely to stay just to our north. Notice how as we go into your Wednesday, that's still the case, that rain right along I-40 and northbound into Nashville and Knoxville. And I think most of the day on Wednesday, we're going to stay dry, but temperatures are going to be warm. We're talking upper 70s. And then late Wednesday night into Thursday morning, some heavier rain possible as we start to clear out by the end of the week. So here's a look at your weekly rainfall. Again, this could change. If that front kind of sags to the south, that heavier axis of rain could shift into Chattanooga and North Georgia. But for now, it looks like the heaviest rain throughout the week stays just to our north along that main front, which will be into Kentucky, portions of Virginia, and that northern section of Tennessee. But the big story next week going to be the spring-like warmth. In fact, it looks like through the end of February, it's basically a lock that we're going to have above average temperatures for much of the southeast. And as we take a look at your temperature trend, again, today 56, pretty typical for February, but look behind me. I mean, we're talking nearly 80 degrees, probably will hit 80 as we go into your Thursday, which will be about 25 degrees above normal. We'll be in record territory, folks. We're talking maybe breaking a monthly record on Thursday. Again, in 2018, we had consecutive days hitting 81 degrees. If we're able to hit 82 at any point next week, that'll be a new monthly record for February. So some pretty serious warmth heading our way. And really, it's been a warm winter. I mean, January was above average. We've been above average for much of February. We've had almost 3 weeks of temperatures in the 60s since December 1st. And almost 10 days in the 70s. So we're going to continue to add to those categories as we move through next week. But today it is going to be very pleasant, very winter-like, I guess you would say. A cold start, temperatures in the 20s, plenty of sunshine this afternoon. Tonight we fall back into the mid-30s. The clouds build in, not quite as cold, but still a bit of a chill in the air. And as we take a look at your next 7 days, very pleasant weekend, some rain chances throughout the week. And then, of course, we're talking the potential for 80 degrees Thursday, so break out the flip-flops and short sleeves.
To say, pull out the layers today, but then keep those shorts on hand, those flip-flops on hand, those t-shirts on hand, and get your dogs ready because they'll have some fun walking on those warm days too. Clay, thank you so much.